We are back after I took a week hiatus off because, very frankly, the world's fucked up and I didn't want to say anything that would get me arrested. So, I mean, that's honestly the true shit. I didn't want to say anything that would have the black vans show up at my fucking door and haul my ass away. I really didn't. So we're not going to talk about all that shit.
List. We're not on the list.
Yeah, what'd you say? Oh, dude, I guarantee you I've been on a list for a long fucking time.
No, like, the list, the list.
Oh, yeah.
There's some doctors that are on the list.
So there's just fucking so many people. Like we can get into that into an evening rant thing, but right now,
let's do it.
I saw a video and I wanted to get a doctor's opinion because, like, here's the thing. Like, I bash on your profession a lot because there's a lot of doctors that aren't like you that don't take the extra step to educate themselves on how to actually like help people's health. I think doctors like you are how like it should end up because you've like it should either be taught to you guys in school about nutrition and like that, and or like then you learn afterwards. But if you're just going off of like, hey, here's some drugs. I've got a couple clients right now, dude. I'll talk to you offline. I got a client right now, and of course, like anybody, if the client's listening, I don't discuss names or anything like that. But I've got a client right now that just got into like the pill farm. Basically, excellent insurance. Started having some issues with one thing that likely is dietary related or like stress management related. And now like they're just go see this specialist, go see this specialist, go see this specialist. Let's try a beta blocker. Let's try that, like all that shit. It's fucking wild. You know, like it's just this like thing we do. But so here's my concept by this. For a person to be denied life insurance due to their physical status.
That's impressive.
I think it's impressive, right? Well, Tess Holliday, and many of you may know her as the globe-shaped woman that appeared on Cosmo. She is on this rant, and I got to find it here, but she's on this rant about she can't get life insurance. She's a 40-year-old woman, likely weighs close to 400 pounds. And she's pissed that she can't get life insurance, right? I am under the stance, I think you know the stance I'm under. I'm under the stance that you shouldn't get health insurance either if you're 400 fucking pounds. Like, why should we spread your poor choices around to everybody's cost, you know? But I want you to see like this. The woman's the woman from the thumbnail. So let me pull up just the image first for you. Because for a lot of you don't recognize it. One of the favorite things of the body positivity movement and everything like that is to say, you can't look at me and tell my health. Well, I would argue that day one of medical school, you're taught to physically observe, right? But
it's called a physical exam. Yeah.
So you like, I know, and I know you're a radiologist, but you obviously know something about being a general practitioner in general health, right? Duh, you know? So I want you to take a look at this and give me like this person just walked into your room and they are trying to get a medical clearance for insurance. What do you say?
No. Decline. I mean, well, there's one interesting point which I'll get to later, but the overriding point is that insurance companies are not stupid. They know risk. Like that's their job, is to assess risk and probabilities and all that. And they're very well aware that morbid obesity, leads to a higher risk of dying early. And with life insurance in particular, the more that you live, the more the insurance company would make money. So the shorter that you live, the less likely that they'll make any money. So, I mean, it's a numbers game in that regard. And it's like, should it be a surprise? Well, according to, she's very delusional in this regard, that it's not a surprise. It's a surprise to her that this would happen or something like this would happen. But I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. And the reason why I was surprised, it's kind of hard actually to get denied for life insurance is because what they can also do is restrict it very, very dearly to certain clauses, depending on what kind of conditions you're walking in with. And this is something that also I've commented on my channel, is like the privacy aspect of all this. Like, they can dig through a lot of your records, like what kinds of medications you've been prescribed and all that. And they would, well, it depends on which insurances that they do it. If you're obviously going for the higher tier ones, they're going to do it more diligently. Obviously, if we're going for disability, that's a whole other issue, but they really hone into your history and dig very, very deep. But yeah, there's a lot of things with her, and who knows. Also, do you have the video that we could play first before I say this point? Otherwise, it's gonna be a spoiler.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm downloading it right now, but I just wanted to chime in here, like really, really, really quickly, right? I think people misunderstand where we're coming from. This is not about, like, I don't think people, because I already got a nasty instant message from somebody. I don't think people should be denied healthcare insurance or life insurance because I want to be mean to them. I am going to argue that it is societally destructive to continue to facilitate the poor health choices by masking the consequences of the actions of those poor health choices. I tried to put that as non-ADHD and eloquently as possible, but like, I think it's vastly kinder. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, Alan Roberts on Twitter, you'll see I get into arguments about this every day. I think it is vastly kinder for me to tell somebody like Tess, like, you shouldn't be on a plane. You're a danger to everybody, yourself and everybody else. Like, she's like getting in a plane for her. Like, I don't think people understand the risk. Like, just to her, like deep vein thrombosis, like the massive amount of, like, due to pressure changes and stuff like that. Like, I am sure if you checked the medical incidences that happened on board, like from air travel, I would bet it's predominantly very seriously elderly people who are likely on multiple medications with multiple comorbidities, just like COVID, or very fat people who are basically have gluttoned themselves to the fragility of an old person, and just like COVID. So yeah. I don't say this to be mean to people. I'm not trying to restrict anybody's rights, but it should be perceived as too dangerous to her to fly. Like, I would argue if I was her child or her brother or sister or parent, and she had an MI or through a DVT while flying, I would sue the airline for allowing her on. Like, they know this information, right? Yeah. And if there was an accident where she like for some reason her chair hurt me or something, I'd sue them for that too, because very frankly, they know they should be later on. But it's not even just about air travel. It is the insurance thing. I've had clients that have come to me 300-400 pounds and they're on like 22 medications. And I'm not shitting, like 22 medications. They're on like half the medications to barely keep their asses alive. And then the other half of medications to deal with the side effects from those medications, right?
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars a month billed to insurance for these medications when we're not making the person better. There's no end in sight. Like, there's no off ramp, and which is what I think that people like you and I provide, because it's not just about medicine, it's about healthcare. Because we're very much seeing there's a radical difference, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, one thing I wanted to point out with life insurance, and it's very, very interesting, because I actually think life insurance more accurately assesses risk than health insurance does. Any schmuck can get health insurance, like depending on not necessarily your health requirement or your health prerequisites. So if you're morbidly obese, would you be entitled to healthcare? For the most part, you can get healthcare, right? Yeah. Or if you live in a lower socioeconomic class, yes, you can get healthcare through Medicaid. Right. But I actually think life insurance and disability insurance more accurately reflect health risk than health insurance does. And that goes to show you, one, the government meddling in health insurance, and even the insurance companies getting as big as they've had and having as much power as they have messed the system up. And then two, probably people like Tess would probably contributed to the delusion that they're actually healthy because they're getting health care from their health insurance, and they're probably using a crap ton of it too. and it sort of makes it a false assumption to now where you have Tess Holliday saying, "Hey, why did I not get life insurance? This is fat phobic, blah, 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 whatever the hell she wants to say." That I think has a better reflection of reality, life insurance and disability insurance, than actually health insurance does, which is kind of ass backwards if you ask me. That's crazy to think about.
Well, it's the same thing as like life insurance. Life insurance aren't. There's a lot of conditions they're starting not to like give life insurance for because I mean, it's like good luck getting it if you're a smoker, if you're a heavy drinker, like stuff like that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they do you know if I think I heard this somewhere? I don't know if it's actually true. Maybe somebody in the comments knows. Did they change the risk assessment based on whether you had the jab or not? I think I heard that somewhere. I think maybe one company tried it.
I would argue that like if you're on a prescription medication, that it should count against you also. Like I know that people don't understand. Here's how life insurance works, right? So say they charge me $100 a month, right? Just so everybody understands the way these insurance companies are set up, thanks to President Barack Obama, is they are set up to be extremely top heavy, like extremely top heavy, right? The administrative costs of insurance companies are in the 60 to 70%. It's even higher than the healthcare industry, right? Because the only way that they can make more profit as a company is to charge more because they're capped because of Obamacare, also known as the gift to the insurance companies. It capped them at 15%, but it didn't cap them for what they can charge. So like if I can only make 50% of $100 a month, I'll charge you $1,000 and I'll make 150. Like I'm still 15%, but I'm making so much more, right? Now, if I pay $100 a month in health insurance and 60% of that is, going towards administrative costs or whatever, and $40 of it a month is going towards what they would pay out. Because let's say they have a very good model. So it's 60% plus their 15%, that's 75%. 25% of my $100 goes towards what they would pay out to my family should I die, right? If I want a $100,000 policy, how many months do I need to be alive for them to make money off of my $25 allotment to it, right? Like it's almost set up where it's impossible for them to make money if I only live 10 years, because that's what a 400-pound woman has, who's been morbidly obese, and like Alan gets this more than a lot of people, I think, because of me, but like she's been morbidly obese her whole life, right? She's 40, right?
And she shows it off online.
Yeah, it's end of times for her. Like you're not like the reason why we didn't see a lot of elderly fat people, and we still don't, is because the people that are elderly now, if they got fat, they got fat when they were older and then died from it. People that have been fat their whole lives don't make it to elderly. Like we're 50, if she makes it to 50, there should be golf claps all around at a party, And I just think that like people don't grasp that there's no way for them to make money because reality exists, and there's no way she's going to live long enough to get health insurance when she's 40 to pay off to somebody. Like she's 40. So how you don't have life insurance already when you've got children and you claim to be balling, like makes you a horrible fucking person too, Tess. But let's see if I can get this video to play just so everybody knows if our feed strokes out. StreamYard is having an extremely hard time with videos lately. So let me see if I'll take this one, because this is wild, like truly wild.
Yes, I did think that I could get life insurance as a 40-year-old, non-smoking, non-drinking, non-health issue having human. And that was honestly my bad. It was my bad. I know. Am I 5'3" and do I weigh over 300 pounds? And apparently that makes me ineligible for life insurance. Yeah, it does. It does. Do I work out every single day and have no pre-existing conditions or take any kind of medication?
Lie.
Yeah, I do.
Lie.
But hey, I also understand that the medical industrial complex, you know, is fat phobic and inherently the system is broken. And I understand, and that's my bad and that's on me. And honestly, it won't happen again. That lesson learned.
What lesson?
Right. So your thoughts first, right?
Oh my gosh. I highly doubt that she's never been on medications. That's definitely a lie. Exercise every day or whatever she said, like probably not. I mean, I love like this is a very interesting way to sort of I don't want to say dark psychology, it's not really that, but like it's just a way to present yourself just to make your argument better. Is she lists the stuff that she like that's good on her resume. So not smoking, okay, great. Join the thousands of other people that don't smoke either. And non-drinking, okay, fine, whatever. And then like and then when she went through the weight, she's over 300 pounds. I don't think she's got to be over 400 at this point, right? Like she looks over 400.
I would argue she's well over 400 pounds.
Yeah. So
I think she came up to 300. I think she came up to 300 number because that's probably what the checkbox was.
Maybe, yeah. And or I mean, hell, we're only trusting her word at this point. I mean, assuming that she's actually factual with everything that she's saying, she may also be using that like lower number just to say that this problem is not so bad. Okay, because it sounds different if you say over 300 versus over 400, right? It sounds a little different. They're both maybe factual. Yeah, maybe both over those two thresholds, but it just sounds different to the person that's maybe listening to this and maybe like eating it all up. So there's a lot of stuff that's just like either cope or a lot of lying going on. Like I mean, yeah, it's and then it's kind of been her MO this whole time, like basically lying to not just the public but also to herself. More so herself. That's probably the most damaging thing to her is lying to herself in all this. So yeah, I mean, shocked by her reaction, no, but it just goes to show you like how deep this goes in terms of delusion and frankly stupidity.
Somebody said that's a BMI of 53. I bet you her BMI is somewhere in the 70 range. I mean, just my thoughts on it. And I've followed Tess for a long time. Tess Holliday. I have actual messages from other people where she's reached out to them and fucking complained about me and shit like that. She's had me blocked forever. She definitely knows who the fuck I am. But she's bigger now than she's ever been. She did say she was trying to lose weight. I wonder why. So you're trying to lose your whole stick, your whole stick for the entirety of the time that you've been used as a circus fucking attraction. Your whole stick was that you'd never lose weight, you love yourself, fat, blah, blah, blah. And then she announced not too long ago that she was losing weight. I wonder why. Are we trying to say that this wasn't like some sort of like health problem that led to this? Like she just changed her mind, change her mind, like, oh, well, I need to be healthy. And then all of a sudden is bitching about it, like acting like there's nothing wrong with being, globe shaped. But, I think that she obviously lies to herself a lot, but also at the same time, nothing is ever her fault. Like ever,
nope.
Ever. Like, and it just, for reference, she is probably bigger than the average or even probably the biggest NFL lineman. Okay. And that's the truth. Like she's fatter. She weighs more. I shouldn't say fatter. She weighs more than the probably largest NFL lineman. I think the largest one's like 370 something, right?
Wow. And
I'm going to point out, first of all, those men do not live a long time. One of the first things that NFL linemen, linebackers, even tight ends do when they leave football is they all try to lose about 100 fucking pounds. Like I literally have had like ex-pro or semi-pro athletes that have come to me and be like, I'm done with that shit. I need to drop this weight fucking quick. I can feel it on my bones. I can feel it on this, right? But so for reference, she is likely 15 inches shorter than the average NFL lineman and probably outweighs them by about 30 or 40 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what the issue is here. Like, I mean, this is a problem. And this reaches back to what we were saying at the beginning of this video, dude, is that like, it is not nice to Tess to golf clap that shit. Like anybody in her, like her comments are ridiculous. Her comments are, and it's getting be more and more along the lines like people are like, just lose weight, blah blah blah. But a lot of people just gas her up, and I'm sure it's a lot of bots too and stuff like that. Just gas her the fuck up. Where it's like, go queen, slay queen. Like 5 pounds of makeup, hair dye, and filters does not make you healthy. You know, like that is not a health plan. You know, eating no ultra processed food. Like what? I'm trying to be as calm as I can because there's so much going on in the world. This is me trying to be calm, by the way, people.
Yeah.
We can't afford this shit anymore. Like we can't afford to fucking placate these people anymore. Even if the world wasn't about to fucking come apart at the seams because a lot of fucking world leaders are going to jail or being executed in their other countries. Not here. We're moving past it.
Definitely not here. Definitely not.
You know? Oh, thank you, Jacob. This is my son, by the way.
Oh. 450. Okay. Damn, 450 is still a lot. Shit.
Yeah, but I bet you she weighs as much as the next heaviest, and or she's in between them two, like for real.
Yeah, I mean, still not good. I don't care if you're an athlete. Like, yeah, you're right. Like they definitely want to lose that weight once they're done. I mean, that's It's interesting.
Go ahead.
It's interesting how to get into that. Well, I was just saying it's interesting, like your mindset going into that. Like, I guess, like. To do that position, knowing that you're risking your health and you could be shortening your life, like at least I hope that they know that beforehand, right? But yeah, I don't know. It just that boggles my mind that people would go out of their way to trash their bodies like that. But hey, that's sport for you, I guess. But there's plenty of athletes that are not very healthy for them. You know, they look. I mean, some of them look very, very fit and all that, but they definitely push their bodies to limits that you can never imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, any extreme is not necessarily healthy. Like
right.
Marathon runners are notorious for just dropping the fuck dead. You know, like just notorious because. And honestly, I read a study, a pretty interesting study. Me and you have talked about this before, but do you know why some of like the theory why some of them drop dead is that their ejection fraction gets too high.
Yeah.
Like their heart becomes so efficient that it pumps out too much blood out of the left ventricle and it collapses the ventricle.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I mean, we usually think of it the opposite way when it comes to sickness. Yeah, you never think about the other side of the equation. Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it, if it goes to 80%, the refill pull can, if there's any type of clot anywhere, the refill pull on the left ventricle is going to fucking possibly pull the clot. It increases the blood pressure because you have to refill the ventricle so much. Yeah. And then if you're emptying 85% to 90% of it, like you're emptying almost the whole ventricle, it could stay collapsed fairly easily,
Right.
But anyway, the total ADHD moment in theory that I have that's not necessarily proven by science, but it does make biological sense. Yeah, but it does make biological sense. Anyway, like I think that these people know, like a lot of them are, like they start off in football young, and then I'm the fat kid. I can make millions of dollars. A lot of these people try to take care of their families, and I got to be real, man. When I was like young and single, like, and I was lifting heavy and everything like that, like I never, people don't believe this, but I never did steroids until like I do TRT now, like 175 milligrams a week, but I was like I would never do that because obviously they're bad for you, blah blah blah, but if somebody said, "Hey, you could be The Rock," like and at the time he was making like we're not The Rock. Who was it at the time? Like Schwarzenegger, or somebody. Like you could be have his money. I'm young. The only person that I really was like engaging with on a daily basis was my dog. It was before I met Crystal and had my son. Like I often said like if I could be that kind of famous, that kind of rich, which now I don't want to be famous. And I'm happy where I'm at, but like I definitely don't want to be famous, but. The thing is, like, I would have been like, where do I stick the needle in? Because like if you have nothing else to live for and you don't really know about the consequences, those sorts of things, right? But it's also different because what I said is by the time most NFL players reach her age, which is 40, somebody just asked her age, she's 40, right? So by the time most NFL players reach her age, they're done and have likely been done. If they're a lineman, they've been done for at least 5 to 8 years at the fucking least, right? I mean, their career is over, right?
Yeah.
Their career's over from getting smashed around, but also carrying that extra fucking weight. They all develop problems when you're that big. You heal much slower, especially if it's a ambulatory injury, meaning like it's your ankle, your knee, hip, anything like that, foot. You heal much slower, stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So she's 40, which way younger than me, but like I have no expectation that 14 years from now, Tess Holliday is going to be around at all, like to reach my age. There's no fucking way. Like I would imagine shit's coming off the fucking register right now, because why did you all of a sudden decide to lose weight, and why are you looking at getting health insurance when you hadn't before? You know, it's not like, I mean, I have a hard time believing she had this epiphany of responsibility. So I just
think the epiphany of responsibility with her child, like, yeah, things change. Like when your mentality should change, like when you have children, you know. But not be so selfish and all that. Yeah.
But she's a complete sociopath, and I mean, I really mean that. Like, she views the world as how it treats her, how it orbits around her, because, you know, gravitational pull. But she's such a horrible. Like, if you dig into her beyond this shit, she's a horrible person, like objectively horrible person, and that comes from me, who many people would say the same thing about me, which I don't know how. I'm just mean. I'm not horrible, but we have to get past this as a society. Like, to be real, just so everybody understands, and I had some people be like, "Oh, thankfully no politics." Well, frankly, health is politics. Like, you guys, you need to get there. You need to get there, especially when they're destroying the Maha movement and Make America Healthy Again movement, and I should sue them for using my fucking thing. But
so what are you talking about? What thing?
Oh, well, I came up with that phrase before anybody. I would say that. I made videos with titled "Make America Healthy Again" and using Maha like in 2021.
Okay.
You know, like, but anyway, health is political, and here's why. Tests cost everybody money. Okay, a lot of you out there who are sick, unhealthy, weak, frankly, due to your lifestyles, meaning like you eat too much, drink too much, smoke too much, you do these things to the point where it starts negatively affecting your health. If you have insurance, you're affecting everybody. Frankly, you're affecting everybody anyway, because you use up more resources. You cause us to have to view things very, very differently. Like, so say there is an unfortunate natural disaster, right? 2 ambulances show up. It's me and Tess Holliday.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
They can get me on a fucking gurney. Like, and this is fucked up because I'm a muscular fucking adult male, you know, like they could get me on a gurney. One of them could probably even sling me over their shoulder, because firemen are fucking, you know, good firemen are really fucking strong and trained to that they could probably just sling me over their shoulder like I'm a little fucking toy and fucking rescue me. Ain't nobody slinging Tess, no place.
No, I mean, you've seen the J-Bay video when she got caught by the police. They needed like what, 6 people to carry her on a gurney?
Yeah,
6 people, 6 muscular guys to do it. Like
they had to carry her like a baby elephant.
Yeah, you referring to the planes, by the way. If she were to have a cardiac event, like it would take forever to extract her, and she may not live, you know, because it's hard to get CPR there. Let alone the aisles are very, very narrow to begin with. And to just kind of get personnel in there with a whole bunch of other people on the plane, you know, it's already a big hassle to do it. You're not going to get very good CPR if you happen to get there. I mean, there's that piece, and also just the physics of it. Like you know, being that heavy is going to affect the way the plane flies in general. So like, that does make me cringe when I do see. I actually haven't seen a ton of, like, at least for her side. I don't mean it's, you know, probably because there's a little bit of barrier to entry, just by frankly just walking to the gate is a decent walk that most of these guys can't do. So, but anyway, I mean, there's just a lot of liabilities involved. Actually, here's there was a video, maybe I can share it, where this is where I get pissed off. This is where what pisses me off is that healthcare providers, especially when you're in situations where you like time is like seconds matter. Seconds absolutely matter. Let me see. All right, you want to share that? Let's see if that works. You don't need to play the audio though, but like, so you can ignore the bottom part, but it's the top part.
Okay.
Like these are supposedly the EMS workers, the emergency personnel.
Yeah.
And they're like waddling down the field, and they got the soccer players just getting their bags for them because like, apparently something's really bad has happened. Like that looks like a dire situation with all those people surrounding that person, whoever that is. And they got a gurney out there, and then they're freaking taking their sweet old time getting there. Like that's ridiculous. So it's definitely on the other side of the coin, my side of the coin. Like, why are we accepting this shit? Let alone it's also like kind of a very bad example to set as a healthcare provider that you yourself are clearly unhealthy, but it's just like you can't even do your job right, and you could cost people lives because you're so damn slow.
Well, that's again super valid. Like like so somebody could die because you're fat, and that's the fucking truth. The thing you brought up something about CPR, cardiac arrest for a morbidly obese person. Somebody tests his size. Like she called, and this is wild. You people like mark this day down because I'm about to defend the healthcare industry in just a little bit of way. Because here's my thing: if you do have an acute injury, acute condition, or acute disease, something that is like that moment, it is not a chronic thing. I always argue that the allopathic healthcare system, which is what we have, it's very surgical and pharmaceutical based. It is not equipped at all. It is unqualified to treat chronic illness because chronic illness is a lifestyle condition, and lifestyle modification is not taught in the vast majority of medical schools. And when it's taught, it's very minimally, right? Mm-hmm. So, but if you get an injury, go to the mother. Like if you break your arm, go to the fucking doctor. Like if I snap my arm in half, I'm going to go to the goddamn doctor. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'll take some herbs and I'll be fine. No, motherfuckers. I'm going to go to the doctor, right? But it is not fat phobic. It is not against fat people. I would argue that they love fat people because they make most of their money from you motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. I would just argue that like there's physical limitations that can happen. First of all, it takes a massive number of people to take care of you versus if you weren't a glutton. But imaging for both ultrasound, radiology don't work well on morbidly obese people due to the extra tissue. And to get it to work well, it's almost dangerous. MRI machines are like they're small. Yeah, they're small.
I get claustrophobic. I get claustrophobic in MRI machines. Yeah. They're that small.
Yeah, and they have to be for like what they do. Like it's magnetic resonating, right? It's like they have to be, right? If you the bigger, larger ones that are meant for animals are not necessarily great for people, because the signal is stronger, the magnetic field is stronger, which can cause all sorts of issues with your central nervous system and stuff like that, right? The thing I don't think people grasp is that like it's not against fat people. They love you motherfuckers. You are just against yourself. The sheer physics, you mentioned the physics of getting there on the plane. What about the physics of CPR? So Tess Holliday probably has 3 or 4 extra inches of fat on her sternum, and back, right? So that's going to squish first before it actually compresses her rib cage, right?
Yeah.
I don't think normal compressions would work on somebody that size. I just don't think you would have to be jumping up and down on the person. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the fat will dampen it no matter how hard I press. Like it's not going to be as nearly as effective.
Right. So this is here's and I'm about to get hate mail. Right?
Yeah.
This is natural selection that we are stopping from happening.
Right.
I hate to put it that bluntly, but the warnings, the cautionary tales that these people should be is being hidden from society by us pretending that they're healthy and not letting them suffer the consequences of their actions. If every person Tess's size had to pay for health care 100% of their own pocket, at least for anything that's not acute. You get a broken bone, use your health insurance. Something like something like that, health insurance. But insulin, blood pressure meds, those sorts of things, there's no way that should be covered. And if it wasn't, do you know what it would do? It would incentivize people not to glutton themselves to death and not lie to themselves about it. It's societally damaging. We have been destroying society. We are burdening ourselves to a massive degree that is not even spoken about on the news. We hear so much about the military budget, the fucking ICE budget, the budget for this, the budget for that. We spend $2 trillion a year in taxes on healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
That has gone up from like 200 billion like 40 years ago. And I understand people are like, oh, well, things cost more. It is way outpaced in that. Like last year in 2025, we spent something like 5.3 to 5.7 trillion motherfucking dollars as total healthcare burden. This year, we're likely going to spend $7 trillion, right? That's unsustainable. It's just unsustainable. And the reason is more and more people like Tess who have been fat their whole lives at this point, who have done nothing but consume a vast majority of their calories from ultra-processed foods and processed sugar for decades. These people are going to start falling out and becoming very, very, very sick. And like they're pulling society down in multiple ways, yet alone the fact that they're the bulk, pun intended, they are the bulk of the problem when it comes to burdening society with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Why, as a society, we could be almost $40 trillion in debt and not see that an extra $1 trillion added almost every motherfucking year to our shared healthcare expenditure is not a problem? I have no fucking idea. Like it is the only conclusion that my brain has ever gotten to is it's by design. It's a feature of the system instead of a flaw. Yeah. It's absolutely a feature, right? And
because we're worried about other stuff right now. Like there's more things that are more of a priority to people that are just continuing to divide us. Yeah. So you can go down the gamut of what that list looks like. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that whole list, all that does is have people fighting against each other and all that shit. People take their sides. People don't look at it objectively, anything like that. But they don't ever talk about this. They can't say, listen, people, you have to fucking be healthy. Lose fucking weight. Like, watch what you eat. We as a society, like, it is, and the reason why is the system, and I know people, tinfoil hat, whatever, but tell me we're not enslaved right now. We're slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't pay your property taxes, they'll take it. Don't pay your taxes, they'll take you. Like, so we have to participate in the system or they'll arrest you. Well, participating in the system also means, like, we pay and pay and pay. If and they know we can't strike back. They keep showing us, like the government shutdown not too long ago. 40 million people started bitching that they couldn't fucking feed themselves. That 40 million people is over 10% of the population. 10% of the population will keep us enslaved.
Yeah.
10% of the population, depending upon the government, will keep us enslaved because they're all, first of all, they're always going to vote for the government. They're always going to vote for the incumbent, And secondly, should shit pop up, these are the people that called their motherfucking neighbors for having their grandchildren over. They had 3 grandchildren over instead of 2 for Thanksgiving. They would call the fucking police on them during COVID. These people are going to do what they're fucking told and sit the fuck down because they are dependent upon the people that are writing the rules. Yeah. And the only way to escape that is if we become healthy and self-sufficient. That's the only way to escape it. We are not voting. Nobody will ever vote their way out of tyranny. It's insane. The only way we would be able to escape is for all of us together to decide that it is literally, as our society, unfucking acceptable to burden us because you want to face fuck yourself with pie every day. I think that's pretty blunt,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing also, like, it's sort of the way we allow people to vote. Like, there's definitely some people in the government that want to lower the age, and I'm like, why would you lower the age? We have people who are 18 to 25 who don't know jack about anything, and they're canceling out my vote. And people that also don't pay into the system, or they're taking welfare beyond belief, they're also voting. So, like, that doesn't make any sense either. Like, why? If you're a shareholder of a company, the only people that actually invested money and time into the company should get a vote, and that's
Right.
usually how the bylaws go. Why is it that different in the government?
Right.
So that's kind of also, part of the problem too, is that we're not as to supporting your thesis on why we're not going to be able to vote our way through tyranny is because our voter population is subject to such tyranny, said
Yeah.
tyranny. Yeah. So.
And I know that like people don't understand why you and I always end up on these topics, but it's healthcare as a whole, and healthcare as a whole is run by the government.
Right.
Like, I mean, just that it's facilitated completely in multiple ways. The ill health is facilitated by giving tax breaks and subsidies to ultra processed food companies, and giving immunity to the company that makes glyphosate.
Well, it's not to be doomsday. I think people may conflate the fact that we do talk about politics a lot, and it's sort of like, oh my God, the world's going to end, we're all fucked, and all that stuff. That's not really necessarily the approach. It's more so to like keep yourself aware of what's going on, so that you can figure out what the best route is for yourself to take to get you to a healthier you tomorrow, and also just spread the awareness amongst people around you. That's probably going to be more effective than just going out and doing an ICE protest of some sort. You have to get everybody on the same page. The way to do that is it's got to be from the grassroots and upwards. It can't be just from a grand scale, and that's why we talk. I don't know if we talked about this, but I've talked about this before, probably on other shows, but the whole third party concept. The only way a third party is going to work is if it starts from the ground up. It's not going to start from the president. It's impossible. That's just a very, very a wrong approach, so to speak. It has to come from the ground up if you want to play in there.
We're going to have to struggle. If the only way to do that is, again, like you said, start a third party that's completely constitutional, just like it's just basic constitution. And then we're going to have to wrestle it away, because what they do is they'll just not include us in the process.
Right.
That's what they do with third parties. You don't get put on the ballot because they say you don't qualify, but they're the ones that make the rules on whether you qualify or not. Correct, it's wild. So this is from Erica, and I know you got to run here in a minute, but I just wanted to point out, she said she's worked in health insurance for the past 6 years, and there is government involvement in every single level. It doesn't matter what type of insurance you have, public or private. That's my point.
Yeah.
So
in some way, shape, or form, the government is involved. The ones for those that are trying to seek alternatives, because I know health insurance is extremely expensive. You can look into the shared health plans, the Christian Health Ministries of the world. I think that's the name. You can Google it, or you go to your favorite AI and search for it. Those are more shared plans, and you can learn about those places. I don't have any particular that I endorse personally, but it's been an option for a lot of people who have been just sick and tired of paying oodles and oodles of dollars for very little actual health care for people that are already healthy. So it's something to consider, especially nowadays when the health insurance is just out of control expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. And if you guys want to know more about that, especially because I do the weight loss and bullet, but if you want to know how to take care of that, please go follow Alan on YouTube, your Health Unplugged, and then it's Unplugged Doc on X and on X and on Instagram, right?
Instagram unplugged.md. Yeah, and I'm trying to do more. That's correct. Yeah, I'm trying to do more where I have more solutions than I'm just I'm just talking about doomsday stuff.
Yeah.
And and also I'm also in the process with you guys too. I'm sort of discovering a lot of things as I go, and it's been a fun process in terms of trying to discover what else is out there that could be a better alternative to what we have right now currently. So I'm learning just as much as you guys are. I'm just kind of sharing the process with you and also learning from you as well. So it's that's been one of the things as I've evolved, at least in terms of me making my own content.
So I got to check. Maybe we'll check this out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild that we have pro weight loss
yeah.
It's such a foreign thing to me. I'm substantially older than you, but when I was a teenager, it was seen as like a moral failing to end up on medication for being fat or smoking and shit like that. Like
Now it's everywhere.
now it's like, this. Just stick yourself with this drug that we have no idea how it's going to treat you for the rest of your life.
Serena Williams is doing it. It's all trendy now. Yeah.
Kim Kardashian did it. Like what the fuck? Like, who fucking cares what this slut did? Like, I mean, I just slut shamed her. I'm sorry. The on purpose porn star who leaked a porn tape just to fucking become popular. Sorry about that. Anyway, all right. I hope everybody has a great day. Alan, where can they find you?
Like we said before, at YouTube at Your Health Unplugged. I'll be back doing lives when I get back to the States. Then X at unplugged_doc and Instagram at unplugged.md. Those are my 3 main channels. You can check me out and what I'm doing and where the hell I am overseas. You're going to have to find out on my channels to figure that one out.
Yeah. All right, everybody. My name is Alan Roberts. I'll be back possibly later on today, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow if not. So I hope everybody. I had to, like I said, I had to take like a week off just because I was worried I was going to say some shit that would get me arrested. So, but if you want to hear me say, if you want to hear me like say shit that might get me arrested, if you ever see me on an X space or just even read my X posts, that might do it. So, but anyway, I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk soon. God damn.